Tears for the Tear God, Salt for the Salt Throne, and Gas the Leaf Tribe.
Perhaps you, like I, have been waiting for the names of the PPC candidates running in the Toronto ridings to drop. And they did today. Candidates were announced. And in my riding, Etobicoke North, the name is Renata Ford. My initial reaction to this was, what? Maybe I felt is the word malaised, that to cast my vote now, as a resident of Etobicoke North, to cast my vote for the PPC and Maxime Bernier, I have to cast my vote for Renata Ford, who during the press conference, she gave a little speech. She seemed really unenthused. I might even go so far as to say ill-prepared, that it seemed to me she didn't write the speech, and she barely read it before she gave it, and that was a little disappointing. So, my initial reaction was not good, but I've had some time to think about it, and we're going to talk about that. Renata Ford has been the center of her own little controversies. Little controversies. We're not going to talk about them. You can go look them up if you want. Not the least of which may or may not have been being married to the crack-smoking mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford. So there's a certain optics there. And there will be questions from the media about it. And how she handles that will determine outcomes, I'm sure. At least it'll be part of determining outcomes. But there's some good things coming from this. The PPC are largely ignored by the mainstream media. They're not getting the attention that they deserve as a new party. But drop a name like Renata Ford, and CTV is lining up their cameras front and center to absorb all of this. So, there's a publicity advantage to bringing in a Ford. Now, whether or not she actually has some sort of political savvy, capital, or clout remains to be seen, but she did work with Rob and Doug Ford. She's been alongside them basically their entire careers in public office. She must have some connections and some know-how at this point. Again, and if she doesn't, I'm sure Doug Ford is not going to leave her in the lurch if he has the time as premier. I'm sure Maxime Bernier wouldn't leave her in the lurch. If she were to win, it's a big if, and suddenly I realize, wait a minute, how big is that if? Because she's running in Etobicoke North. Now, Etobicoke North is not well known for its political engagement, political activism, or even political awareness, but it is still somehow known as the heart of Ford Nation. Why is that? Well, the Ford boys grew up and work and live and work in Etobicoke North. They went to high school around here. This is their territory. This is Ford territory, and it has been for a long, long time. These guys made their name as city councilors by giving out their phone numbers to anyone publicly. They would give it, and not phone numbers to their offices. You're not getting a phone number to call their assistant or their secretary or their aide. They're giving out their cell phone numbers, and they answer it. Doug Ford, to this day, as Premier of Ontario, gives out his cell phone number live on the radio. And if you call that number, he answers it, Doug Ford, and he'll hear you out, and he'll try to have a personal hand in solving your problem. These guys would go to people's houses, literally roll up their sleeves and do labor to help their constituents, and that's made them beloved in Etobicoke North. Maybe Etobicoke North residents are going to see there's a Ford on the ballot, and they're just going to vote Ford. Now, no one's wanted to say this, but everyone's been pretty sure that the PPC candidates would not win a riding within Toronto, within the major city center. That may have just changed. That Renata Ford, on name alone, may be able to win a riding in Toronto for the PPC, and that would be a huge fucking deal. That would be a very big deal. That would be the beginning of a building a stronghold for the PPC in Toronto, a major city center. Very valuable, this. It's the heart of Ford Nation. Maybe with time it could be known as the heart of Bernier Nation as well. So, to cast my vote for the PPC and Maxime Bernier, I'm going to be happy to cast my vote for Renata Ford. See you in October.
Relevant links to shit I said in the description? Maybe. I'm a retwin. Like, subscribe, or don't. It's a free country. At least it used to be.